Will Holman, you're the Bank of England's Deputy Agent for Yorkshire.
That's right.
Bradford Chamber is visited every 3 months by the Bank of England for economic updates. Do you find these meetings useful, and if so, how?
We do find the meetings very useful, and I'll just describe a little bit about why we find them useful. The main thing is that we find the meetings useful to get a broad view from around the table of how companies are seeing the economy at present. So it allows us to get a snapshot of what's happening at that moment in time. And that can be useful if there's a particular changing point in the economy going either up or down. And really this supplements what we have. We carry out more in-depth meetings with a number of companies, which go into a lot of depth about the company's current performance. But these round-the-table sessions just give us a snapshot which helps supplement those more in-depth meetings.
The meetings discuss both the Chamber's quarterly economic survey results and members' individual comparisons with the overall findings. What happens with the information you gain when you go back to the office?
Probably answer that in 2 different ways. The first way is that the quantitative information from the survey goes to our analysts at the Bank of England's head office on Threadneedle Street in London. They plug in these numbers to their models which help the bank forecast growth for the quarters ahead. So these numbers are directly used in the bank's forecast for growth. So that's the first way. The second way is really where I come in, which is around the table when these results are presented. Different members of the chamber give their views on whether or not they agree with the results, and also give some flavour as to why the results are heading in a particular direction. So if we've seen exports falling, as we have indeed seen in the most recent survey, why has that been the case? And is there a particular market which has been weak, which is dragging the level of exports down? So what I find particularly useful from coming to these meetings is that extra information, the qualitative flavour around the results.
Bradford Chamber's economic survey response rate is now the 2nd best in the country, with nearly half of our members completing the questionnaire. Would you like to say anything to those businesses that take the time to complete it?
I'd firstly like to commend Bradford Chamber of Commerce on that excellent response rate, but really the point is these surveys are only as good as the responses that go in, and any survey which doesn't have an adequate response rate really just gets discarded by analysts. So one of the things that is really valued about the Chamber's survey is that it does get a good response rate, and it's as important as any region that Bradford and Yorkshire respond as well as possible to the survey.
Finally then, Will, is there any other information we could try to supply you with in order to determine monetary policy and help our businesses?
I'll perhaps just describe a little bit about how we take in the information and pass it on to the Monetary Policy Committee. And what we do is each month we go out and speak to about 40 to 50 companies. We take in the information which is given to us by companies and try and distill that into what are the big emerging trends at the moment. And I think the way that local companies can help us, we're always looking for new companies to talk to. At any point in time there's bound to be a gap in our understanding in a particular sector or in a particular town. And so really we encourage any company that's talking to us at the moment to keep doing so. But if you think that you would like to pass on your feeling about what's happening with your company and try and influence policy, then please do get in contact with us at the Bank of England in Yorkshire and Humber, and we'll come out and see you at your premises. It takes no more than an hour, so please, that's the sort of thing that we really do value.
Will Holman of the Bank of England in Yorkshire, thank you.
My pleasure, thank you.
Stephen Wright, you're President of Bradford Chamber of Commerce. Each month you chair Chamber Council meetings. What's that about and what's it for?
Well, the Chamber Council is the Chamber's policy body, and it's where the Chamber Executive and Board talk to lay members, as you will, about what's happening in Bradford and getting their views as to what positions the Chamber should be taking in view of local government or central government type policies.
Can you tell us a few of the things the group has discussed in the last few months?
It's quite an eclectic mix at times. We've had the Bank of England deputy agent here today. We've also in the past had people talking about education. We've had people talking about Bradford City of Film. And numerous things that affect the city. We even had the council leader Dave Green talking to us recently.
Where do the representatives come from who sit on the group, and how is the group formed?
The members of the Chamber Council are leaders in Bradford's businesses and are nominated and elected at individual AGM meetings, annual general meetings each year, and so they represent the Bradford business community.
You recently met with some MPs from the House of Commons Select Committee for Education. What was that for and what was the outcome?
The Select Committee came to Bradford to talk to local businesses throughout the region, and they picked Bradford, which we were pleased about, to come talk to us about careers guidance and what businesses thought about how things were panning out under the new legislation. And I think it was really a fact-finding mission, and they've taken away our views and will feed it back into the parliamentary process.
Stephen Wright, thank you very much.
Thank you.